Don't forget to like and subscribe to Jolie Knots Crochet. Share with your friends, hit the little notification bell so you can get notified when new patterns release. Hi everyone, welcome back to Jolie Knots Crochet. I'm Crystal and today we are going to be making the feather stitch. And the feather stitch really consists of 3-legged puff stitches. It's really soft and fluffy. This one here is a bulky weight 5 yarn, and I used it with a 6mm hook, and I just love how those colors just pop right back and forth. This one right here is a 4-weight yarn. This one is also with a 6mm hook, but I wanted to show you some of the different colors. Now I've also been playing around with turning it, like doing increases and turning it into a shawl. So that's why I've got this one, and I do have a shawl pattern in the feather stitch coming up really soon. And here's the shawl that we're making. Oh, it is so fluffy, soft. It's awesome. So I'm going to keep going on with this. If you're not subscribed already, subscribe to the channel, and then you can watch for the release of the feathered shawl. Alright, so this one here is about a 4-weight yarn. It's a little bit on the thinner side of a 4-weight, but it is fluffy. So while both of these yarns are the same weight, this one is more dense and this one is a lot more fluffy. And that's kind of the same with this one, but it's actually more dense and fluffy because it's a bulky 5. This one's my favorite. I'm going to have to make something in this yarn with this hook and everything because it's awesome. Alright, so I did want to show you guys just another yarn and another color, and seeing how the feathers really just kind of hug the next feather and the feather below. So the first thing we're going to do is take a slip knot. Our chain is going to be any odd number, so any multiples of 2 plus 1, that's an odd number. So I'm going to make a chain of 12 so that I have 11 stitches for our swatch. So that extra chain is really just for the height of our work. Now into the second chain from the hook, we're going to put a half double crochet. And now you're going to half double crochet into every stitch all the way down your chain. I should have 11 because we're just making a swatch here. But if you're making a scarf, go as thick as you would like your scarf. If you're making, this would be an awesome baby blanket for the winter. If you're making a baby blanket, then go the size that you're looking at. I'm also using a 6mm hook on this one because I wanted to show you guys with all these swatches and the same size hook, the different kind of looks you can get with the weight yarns that you're using. Alright, 2 more half doubles. Okay. So that's your first row. Now we have a total of 3 setup rows, and then we'll move on to our repeat row. So this is our first setup row. Then we're going to chain 1 and turn our work. Half double crochet into the first stitch. Chain 1, skip 1, half double crochet into the next. Chain 1, skip 1, half double crochet. Do that to the end and you should be ending on a half double crochet. Okay, and here we are up to our last half double crochet. Chain 1 and turn your work. Now every row that we start on is going to start and end with a half double crochet. So half double crochet into your first stitch, and now we're going to work a feather. Now our feather is going to have 3 legs. This is the stitch that we're going to work around. Our first leg is going to be in the chain space before that stitch. Our next leg is going to be in the skipped stitch underneath that chain space, and our third leg is going to be in the chain space after the stitch. So let me show you how we do it. It's essentially a puff stitch with 3 legs. So yarn over, go into your first space, pull up a loop. Yarn over, go into your skipped stitch, pull up a loop. Now yarn over and go into the next chain space and pull up a loop. You should have 7 loops on your hook, and then you'll yarn over and pull through all 7, and then you're going to chain 1 to secure. And that's your first feather stitch. Now the same thing is going to apply here. Our third leg, or 3 legs. Our first leg is going to be in the same chain space that the last leg was from our previous feather. Our second leg into the skip stitch again, and our third leg into the space after the stitch. So yarn over, go through the space, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through your skipped stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, and go through the next chain space, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through all. Chain 1 to secure, and now we're going to do it again. First leg in the chain space just worked, second leg in the skip stitch, third leg in the next chain space. Yarn over and pull through all of your loops. Chain 1 to secure. Alright, we've got one more feather stitch here. So now I will know that it's my last feather stitch because I don't have any more chain spaces to work. So once I finish with my last one, I'm going to put half double crochet into the last stitch. And we've got 4 feathers across. Now for the next row, we're going to chain 1 and turn our work. Now this is going to be your repeat row. We're just going to be staggering our feathers back and forth. So I will show you. Chain 1. Now, let me show you where our legs are going to be. The first chain space, the chain space directly underneath, and then the chain space after our feather. And that's how we're going to work all the way around. So when we get up to here, we're going to be working in the chain space before the feather, the chain space directly underneath, and then the chain space after the feather. Those are 3 legs. So put a half double crochet into your first stitch. Okay, so we're going to yarn over and go into the first space. Yarn over, go into the space underneath it. Pull up a loop. Yarn over and go into the space after your feather and pull up a loop. You should have 7 loops on your hook. And there we are. So now we're going to fill in the feathers going down this way. First space, space directly underneath that, space after the feather, or where our legs are. How neat is that? It looks really cool. So finishing out this row, You know it's the end because you've up to your last chain space. Half double crochet into the last stitch, and then you repeat that round. So chain one, turn, half double crochet into the first stitch, and then feather. And just like that. Isn't it pretty? Let me show you on some of these other swatches. So stay tuned. If you are not subscribed to my channel, subscribe. When I finish that when I finish our feathered shawl, you'll be able to get the notification. Hit the little notifications bell. I'll leave the link in the description box when the shawl comes out. These videos are available in left and right-handed tutorials, and the links will all be in the description box. Alright, so there we have it. Hopefully you were able to pick up some more information on the feather stitch. Get that going, and when the shawl comes out, you're going to be a natural and a pro already. And I'll see you guys next time.